Michigan Charter School Teacher of the Year from Charyl Stockwell Academy, Gordy Hyska.
The video always makes me emotional. I say sorry. I love those kids and I love teaching. Speaking, this is one of my first speaking engagements. So, in the pretend it's a huge classroom, but I typically work with 6 to 8 year olds. So if you guys want to help out, you can chew on pencils, report everything that happens at your table, throw out random facts that have nothing to do with what I'm talking about. And I also accept lots of hugs too, so if you want to run up and give me hugs. That's a big part of our school is relationship building. You can see that in the video. It's really important to me to make learning fun. You can see up there. I have a great sense of humor. I laugh at myself, and I think the kids really pick up on that. That's when I was more fit. My more fit days were rough there. But I'm going to talk a little bit about myself, what I do for math, and I'm going to do kind of a short lesson with some kids from the Chatfield School. They're going to come up here and help me out with that. So I'll have some information on the background. I'll talk about some other stuff. You can read through that. And I'll try not just to read what's on the slide, but when I graduated 7 years ago, I was pretty confident that I was ready to go. I was going to go in the classroom, I was going to do great things. And then I got in the classroom and I realized I wasn't really ready. What they teach you in school is different than when you're actually in the classroom. And so I had to change and adapt. Luckily I have a school that supports me in Charyl Stockwell Academy. They're great about letting us take risks and giving us the support we need. And letting us try new things, and I love that. I also have a supportive community. Parents are always in our school helping out, like Dan was talking about. But most importantly, I have the best wife ever. And that picture, she didn't give me permission to use this picture. This is from Harry Potter World in Universal Studios. It was her inner child coming out. And she was just taking a selfie. She did not mean to make this goofy face, but it's my favorite picture of her. Because I think we all have that inner child in us. And as we get older, a lot of us lose it. And I never lost mine. And so I like to have a lot of fun. She likes to have a lot of fun. She's a teacher also. She couldn't be here, so I wanted her to be here with me. So there she is. So math at our school, we typically use a guided math setup. If you're not familiar, it's kind of like guided reading. You meet with small groups based on ability, interest, skills, things like that. And when they're not with you, they're out there doing other stuff. Lots of schools use something called Build, which is a lot of centers and things they do out there, but because I'm me, I like to make my own thing, so it's called Quest. And you can kind of read what I do at each of those centers. So when the kids are out there working on these things, it's really about them engaging in their math and making sure that they're doing it in different ways. I wanted to kind of stray away from paper, pencil, everything, and just rote memory and drill practice. And so they have a chance to communicate math, they have a chance to do it with others, do it by themselves. And then they get to meet with Michigan Hyska, which is what I'll talk about a little bit today. There's some pictures of the classroom in action, the students showing off their work. We often work on higher level stuff that's not in the curriculum because I want to show them that what we're learning in the foundational skills in 1st and 2nd grade really translate into something bigger later on. So they'll try different challenges, they'll do things that kids in later grades aren't even doing yet. But we do it together, and again, it's about taking risks and having fun with it. So the Quest board kind of keeps track of everything, the groups I meet with, where they're supposed to go, things like that. We go on adventures. So Michigan Hyska kind of came about because for me, I just grew up loving adventures, choose your own adventure books, Jurassic Park, Indiana Jones, all those kinds of things. And I wanted to bring that to the kids because I feel like kids these days are often just stuck with technology and lots of fed to them. They don't kind of go on adventures or use their imagination enough. And so for me, imagination and creativity is, I think, the most special part of me. And I wanted to instill that in the kids and say, use that. That's going to help you in everything, learning, friendship, later in life, to be successful. So the idea was that we would develop a quest that we'd all go on an adventure together, and then Michigan Hyska would go somewhere magical, or I've gone to a dragon's cave or a math temple. This year we're going to a math labyrinth, which I call the Mabyrinth. Very clever. But the kids, they love it because it kind of moves beyond, you have to learn this math, because I'm telling you to, that you need to have this book and answer these problems, or here's a worksheet, just do these problems. It makes it meaningful. It taps into other skills beyond just here's a formula, or just add these two numbers together. It says, let's use some of these other skills to really help you conquer math on your own with just a little support from me, because we're all capable of doing it. And at our school, we have very high expectations for our kids. And the idea is that we're all capable of learning math, we're all capable of succeeding. Oftentimes you hear people say, oh, I was terrible at math, or parents will say, I couldn't do it when I was a kid. And these kids, they hear that a lot. And so my goal is to kind of reverse that and say you can do this, and you can use these skills to get there. And math is more than just numbers. So I'm going to have the chat field school. I have some students that are going to come up here to help me out with a lesson. And so what I do is I typically have a journal or a map or something that I fill out throughout the year. And so up here you can see that this is from last year. It started off as a blank map with just an entrance. And as the year went on, when I do these lessons, I draw and add more to it. And what's great about this is that the students help shape the adventure. I have an idea in my mind, but really it's up to them. Which way do I go? How do I get out of this trap if something else happens? It's really fun because I have the idea, but we work together with the kids to do it. And so they get really involved in it. So first let me transform into machine. It's really elaborate. So I'm Education Hyska. And so what'll happen is that like twice a week, up to twice a week, I'll meet with the kids. It'll be like our intro lesson. Oftentimes the concepts that I talk about there will tie into what we're learning in the classroom. So if I'm doing skip counting, I might do a lesson related to number patterns, but more higher level, or skip counting that we're not doing. And so we're going to do a couple example problems. I want you guys out there to participate too. You're my big class. These are my small group up here. And so they're going to have a chance to kind of experience it. So I'll switch between Michigan Hyska and talking to you guys. All right. So typically what I do is all of the kids have whiteboards, so they'll come up to my board, and I'll write at it. So I'm going to give you an easy. You got pass those and what I really want them to know is that there's no silly answers. I want them to just try anything as long as they can give me a reason, explain what they're thinking. We work together with it, and so my kids have a real supportive classroom where nobody's really afraid to say anything. Everybody's willing to try. In fact, I often don't even ask them to raise their hands. I'll just call on people because they're that comfortable in answering. So, so I gotta switch into modes here. Okay. All right, I'm gonna say waddles. You're gonna wonder why. My classroom is an Air-Wadi classroom, and I call them waddles. So I know it's weird, but you guys probably do weird things. So if you hear me say waddles, I'm just talking to them. But all right, waddles. Last time Michigan Hyska went to the math temple, some dangerous things happened. I stepped on a stove, an arrow shot right past me, but it didn't hit me because I'm here. So that's good. And we solved some math problems together. And I retraced my steps as we walked through that map. And I walked down those halls. There were stones. It was damp. You could hear my footsteps. And that's about it. But I remembered last time, I heard a laugh. And that made me nervous, like someone else was there. But I thought maybe it was just me hearing things because it was a kind of scary place. But as I walked down, I went back this time and I got down the hallway. I saw a shiny thing on the wall. Now my kids know that Michigan still loves shiny things, but every time I grab them, something bad happens. So usually they shout out, no, don't do that, or something like that, but I grab it anyway. So I saw a shiny thing. Well, I had to grab it, so I grabbed it, I pulled it, and I didn't get a shiny thing. Instead the wall started to turn, and I turned with it. And I was on the other side, trapped. 4 walls, really dark. How was Michigan Hyska going to escape? Well, I did escape because I'm here. But I noticed these words were written on the wall in front of me. It said, what's in your heart will free you. Now I noticed the word heart was written different than the rest of the words. And as I looked closer, I noticed that there was 9 pictures on stones. There was a hand, a banana, an arrow, an ear, a cat, an apple, a snake, the Roman numeral 3, and an I. So I want my adventurers here to look at that word. I know I have to press one of them. One of them will free me. What's in your heart will free you. And I think, well, how does the math temple know what's in my heart? But I notice that word heart. So I want you guys to take a few seconds to look at that. See, come up with an idea of which one I should press. So I'll give you guys a few seconds. You guys have to look at the words, look at the pictures. And look here, if you guys have an idea, you can raise your hand. If you're not sure, I can give a tip. So usually if the kids don't seem to be having an idea, I might give a little tip. The first problem I have already solved, so I just want the kids to see if they can do it. Did you have an idea? A banana. Why a banana? Because it's the smallest one? It's one of the smallest ones. All right, any other ideas?
The cat.
The cat. That's what my students said, but why the cat?
Because I like cats.
So my students know that I love cats, and I have 2 cats, so they're like, cats. Well, how does the math temple know what's in my heart, right? When somebody else gets in there. But it's a good idea, right? Somebody you love. Right, so favorite animal, that's a good idea. Any other ideas up here? I know what you think. Yeah? Snakes, because I fear them. Maybe the math temple likes to mess with me. But see, you see how it gets them talking and giving ideas and giving reasons why. And I think that's really important. It has nothing to do with numbers either. No numbers are involved, so they're moving a little quick. Anybody out here have an idea? Different? Yeah?
I go with the cat.
The cat? Is it because you love cats?
I do have one.
That's it. Another idea?
Ear,
Ah, why the ear?
because it's in your heart.
Ah. So, if we look up here in the word heart, there's the word ear. And so, I need to push the ear. So typically what I'll do is, even if I hear someone say the same answer as me, I'll usually take a few more, just so that's not like, oh, we got one right, they're correct. Because oftentimes, I'll have my own idea, but a student will come up with an idea that I think might be better than mine. And so I'll switch and say, okay, I like that one. So I typically just take a bunch of answers, and we'll talk about it, and when we come to a consensus, we'll move on. Gonna take some more. So I made it out of that closed room. When I pushed on that ear, the wall turned back, and I was back where I started. And I started to walk down the hallway because my adventure wasn't done yet. I noticed that the room opened up. And in front of me were these 3 paths, and I had to choose one. I've learned in the past that if I choose one path, usually the other 2 close. So I had to choose wisely, and I thought, for this I need my waddles, I need my adventures, so you guys can help me. But like I always say, if you give me an answer, you gotta give me a reason why, because if I'm risking my life to go through this math temple for you, I need a reason why. So, as I walk forward, I notice there's 3 archways. And above it, again, this giant typed in phrase that is chiseled into that stone. Only the greatest will walk the true path. Now, I looked closer and I saw that there are symbols above each of those doorways. One was a dog, it said 13. One was a human, it said 20. One was a spider, it said 6. So again, I want my students to take a few seconds, 10, 20, 30, and if you guys want to write down an answer on your board and show me, if you came up with an idea, if you can show me in some way what your idea is. If you're not sure, just keep looking at it. One thing that's great about doing it this way is that some students, I have all ability levels. I mean, I have kids that come to me, closer to a kindergarten level, and I have others that are working more in 5th or 6th grade. I've had gifted students and gifted clusters in my classroom. So I have all ranges, but when you do something like this, what I noticed is that when someone gives an idea, some of those kids who maybe aren't sure where to start will build off that, or they'll feel more confident. And so the idea here is that I can tell that some have ideas and some don't. So I'll call on those that have the ideas and see if we can get a group discussion going. All right, what was your idea?
I said a dog because you can walk a dog.
Because you can walk a dog. You notice the word walk was underlined,
Yeah.
and you can walk a dog. So you want me to go through that way?
I don't know.
You're thinking about it. I always say, well, we'll think about those numbers too. There's also some numbers. Anyone else have an idea? See some writing? Just throw it out there. What do you got?
Spider, because there's a white box and the numbers are different, like 20 and 13 are double digits.
It's a single digit. So you're noticing which one's different than the rest of them. I always teach my kids to look for those details in the clues, because when you're doing things like word problems, you have to look for details. When you're, sometimes you don't need all the information that's presented to you. I can tell you right now that that white box is a typo. But you noticed it, so bonus points too. But that's a thought too. So the one that's different than the rest, you want to come back to?
Yeah, my dog is also not colored in. My dog.
The other two are shaded and one is not. Okay, I like these ideas. Yeah.
20 because it is the greatest number we can walk.
Ah, 20 is the greatest number we can walk. When I did this with my students, that was one of the first things they noticed, is that the numbers, and it's the greatest, they know that's a math term for the largest number. And so they said 20 because it's the greatest number. And then I asked, well, then why would there be pictures there too? So you gave the reason, because humans can walk, and that's the largest number. That's an idea. See, I think we're getting somewhere. Any other ideas up here? Yes, you guys are going by one.
13's an odd number, and the other ones are even.
Odd and even. That's come up in the math temple before. We actually had a problem earlier. Now, if you were in my class, you would have known we had this problem, but that's good thinking, because sometimes even odd comes into play. So I like when there's different things. Yeah.
Under the dog is like the smaller thing that holds up the temple.
Mm-hmm.
Smaller than
Okay, so this is the first entrance area. You're saying is a little bit smaller than the rest? All right, yeah.
20 because it's a large number and it said to follow your own path.
Ah, the path and walking and human and I'm human. These are all great ideas. I think we're getting there. I'm going to throw out a thought. Walk. We've talked about greatest. We've talked a little bit about walk. If you look at those pictures, think about the legs and see if that changes your thought at all. Walking legs. You're still thinking spider, right? That's how many? Because there's more, is it legs? You walk, see that word walk. Any ideas out here we can add to the discussion?
The dog has 4 legs. 13 times 4 is 52, which is the greatest value.
Ah, so if we use that thought with the other ones, with multiplication, anybody here know what 6 times 8 equals? 48. And what about 20 times 2?
40.
40. So which would be the greatest?
Dog.
Ah, so 13. See how he justified his answer too with that? And so I've done this problem. This is actually a problem I just did 2 weeks ago with my classroom. We don't teach multiplication in our 1st and 2nd grade. But the idea is that we do teach repeated addition. We do teach drawing out your problem. So some students of mine drew 13 dogs and counted the legs. Some of them did repeated. 13 plus 13 plus 13 plus 13, and things like that. So the idea is I want to show them that the skills that I'm teaching them translate into stuff later. Because lots of times I think kids learn math in isolation. Here's this concept, here's this concept, here's this concept. But I want to show them that you can build on it. So I love, you see how it started with an idea, and we built, and it made other kids more comfortable to take that risk and say, well, I'm going to throw out this idea. And no answer is silly. My kids know that. If you have a reason, then it's good enough. And then from there we build on it. Now, if they don't solve it, sometimes they don't solve the problem. I only take those 10 to 15 minutes. If they don't, I'll leave it up during our rotations. I let them work on it during math, or it ends up going home in their math journal. So the idea is that then I can connect it to home, and the parents will usually help them and work on it. All right, so that's really an example of our lesson. Let's give a round of applause for the And so what I'll do is I'll talk to them. If we come up with a consensus, then that's the direction I'll go. And then next time, I'll come back with some new problems. So it's just 10 to 15 minutes, once or twice a week. It really gets the kids interested. They go home and talk to their parents about it. They write about it in their journals. They just love it. Like kids, my old kids come back and ask, where are you going now? Where are you at? And then they want to know, because they truly want to believe in it too. They want to believe these are places that they can go. I was telling them I can't take you because of liability reasons. But, all right, that's my time, I believe.
I need a hug.
Yes.
Okay. My table wasn't behaving very well. Just
yeah.
Whatever. Random question.
Yeah.
Do you like magazines?
I love magazines.
Did you know that you're actually in one?
I just got a copy of it.
The Charter Connect magazine, if you'd like some notes from his talk, he actually wrote an article on our most recent issue, so you can actually look at it.
And it talks more about my math time, more specific details of how I helped develop that.
How to do acting as a 2nd grade.
I mean, a little more tugging, a little more holding.
I get a little more
Gotta go to the
practice.
bathroom, gotta go to the bathroom.
I work with legislature. All right, thanks. Give another round of applause.